Hello, welcome back to Better Than Wolves, episode 3. In today's episode, I should be attempting to industrialize by using mechanical power in the form of a millstone and colonize in the form of successfully growing hemp. Let's get into it. Actually, I don't think this is technically colonizing, because in order to colonize somewhere, you have to kick out the people that are already there. I think technically I'm just settling on the land, which isn't as dramatic, and besides, that doesn't honour my heritage in the same way. But I could be wrong about all this, because most of my knowledge of the ownership of land comes from that scene in The Martian where Mark Watney's all like, oh, I've colonised Mars and I'm a space pirate. And he comes up with this silly measurement systems, which is not very applicable to Better Than Wolves. Well, I suppose maybe I could class the local animal population as people, especially since they don't seem to be respawning anywhere near me. But in order for that to make any sense, I'd have to class animals as people, and that seems iffy. But then again, apparently pigs are as smart as toddlers, and could I bring myself to dispossess a herd of toddlers? Would it be a herd, or would I say a waddle? A waddle of toddlers. Could I bring myself to brutally eviscerate a waddle of toddlers? Probably, because toddlers are very annoying. I swear to God, spend any time with any of them and you'll find out what I mean. Just wow, all day long. At least pigs are cute. Pigs, I have no beef with. Actually, I would probably feel worse about brutally eviscerating a group of pigs than I would a group of toddlers. Probably the reason why I'm a vegetarian, because at least pigs are cute. Toddlers, I've never understood the baby love thing. They're just bold. I don't find bold people attractive. But then again, that is a very slippery slope. Not the bold people attractive thing, comparing pigs to toddlers. Because when the British were colonizing Africa, they definitely viewed the African people as primitive and subhuman, and used that to kind of justify the conquering them and bringing civilization. And I just think things ultimately fall apart when you look at ownership and who has a right to something based on intelligence. I mean, a lot of dumb people have possession of far too much resources, and it's not the pigs' fault that they were born pigs. It's not their fault that they haven't invented contract law and come up with some kind of piggy charter and piggy lawyers and a piggy police system. Actually, no, technically, I suppose pigs are the police. So maybe they've got this secret system that we don't know about. Food for thought there. But I mean, it's hard. Actually, would I mind being a pig though? Probably not, because ignorance is bliss. They don't have to pay taxes. They don't have climate. Well, technically they do have climate change, but they don't know about climate change. And they've never had to analyse Shakespeare. And honestly, out of the three of those, analysing Shakespeare is probably the worst, because it sucks. Don't get me wrong, I'm a lover of the arts. You know, I could hit a "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Some time too hot the eye of heaven shines, and oft is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime reclines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou erst, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. I mean, I can hit that as well as the next person. I mean, admittedly, the when in eternal lines to time thou growest, and nor shall lose possession of that fair thou erst. I mean, that's slightly clunky, if I do say so myself, and it doesn't really roll off the tongue. But for the rest of it, holy fuck, I slay. It's a pretty good poem. I mean, admittedly, that's probably one of the better poems out there. Not that I've learned many. I did try learning Tiger Tiger by William Blake, mainly because of The Mentalist. But honestly, it's overrated as fuck. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night. I know that it's supposed to be spondaic, but it just makes it sound like a petulant toddler going, well. Sorry, spondaic, for the people that don't know, is where every syllable is stressed. So tiger, tiger, burning bright is dum 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 dum, instead of shall I compare thee to a summer's day, which is iambic pentameter, which is the heartbeat is da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Which honestly, it's just so I love iambic pentameter. It is so graceful, whereas spondaic is just bum 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 bum, like an elephant walking over ground. And also, apparently, William Blake has never ever seen a tiger, and honestly, it shows, because there's a little drawing at the bottom and he looks so silly. I'm fairly certain that's true. It might not be true. I could have just made that up. But am I going to fact check it? Absolutely not. Why am I not going to fact check it? Because I love spreading misinformation. For example, did you know that we almost domesticated pigs instead of dogs? Because not only did they have a great sense of smell, they were also brilliant fighters because of their tusks. However, because they wallowed in muck and whatnot, it made people less likely to take them into homes, unlike dogs, which obviously like have in your bed and have as a companion by your bedside, and so they died out, despite being slightly better at fighting and smelling. Now, I just made that up, but if you don't think about it like whatsoever, it sounds plausible. And next time you like see a pig, you might just bring it up offhandedly, and provided the friend doesn't think critically about it whatsoever, they might believe it as well. I mean, go ahead and try it. See if you can convince somebody that pigs will almost take the place of dogs in our household. Anyway, where were? Oh yes, William Blake's rubbish poetry. Now, could I do better than that? No. Have I tried? Yes. Am I going to read any of it? No, because it is. But actually, there was one that I did. I did the sonnet for a video. I really like that sonnet because, like I said, I'm a lover of iambic pentameter. I will recite it now. This world is not a fair Elysium. Deserving hands do not receive its wealth. There is no cosmic equilibrium. Some suffer due to poor financial health. So when thou cries you need a better mic, you think my ears are stuffed with feta cheese? I am aware my mic is fucking shite, and so, before you write your comment, please shut up and be the change you want to see, and give some super chats or memberships or just a nice remark. That is for free. To be quite blunt, I'd rather take your chips. So if you aren't donating, why? You poor? You need to beg for cash online? Huh? I can't believe I've still got that shit on lock. I mean, honestly, the rhyme scheme is phenomenal. Rhyming poor with and spelling shut up SHADDUP. In order to get the emphasis in the right place is mwah, cherry on the cake. I'd like to see Shakespeare do better. Now, I'll try and recite Tiger Tiger to the best of my abilities. But like I said, I had some problems memorizing it. So it goes, Tiger, tiger, burning bright, in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? Something, 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 something. What, the hammer? What, the chain? Something, something, something. Tiger, tiger, burning bright, in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? And now, the only reason I remember what the hammer and what the chain is just because it sounds so out of place. It sounds ridiculously modern for like no reason. Because the whole what the hell on there? And it's just ridiculous. Again, it doesn't. Tiger Tiger just doesn't read as classical literature. And, you know, for that reason, I just have to say my one's better, even with the atrocious selling out. But if I don't do that, like, am I even a proper YouTuber? Funnily, I have been given the opportunity to sell out even more and properly monetize my audience. If I had a proper audience, you best believe I'd be going for it. I have like a tin of tomato soups, who I love and cherish dearly. They are awesome, never change. But aside from that, all my clout is from that one video recreating like YouTube slop AI ideas. And I don't even know how that one got so successful. And clearly the internet has been course correcting ever since, as there is just no space for a white boy who listens to Kendrick Lamar, Olivia Dean, and Tame Impala. I am a special and unique breed. But I'd just like to let you know, I would never sell out. At least not for the amount that they were offering. I don't even know how much they were offering. I think it was affiliate marketing. So I'd have to sell you something, and then you'd have to buy it, and I'd get a kickback. Like, that wasn't even an upfront fee or anything. And I don't get out of bed for less than a milli. And while I love my audience dearly, are they going to be buying enough courses? I think courses were one of the things that are being sold. Are they going to be buying enough courses on how to be like me in order to earn me a milli? Probably not. But then again, I'm not sure how committed the tin of tomato soup guy is. He could secretly be a baller. If you are a baller, give me a sign in the comments. But I don't get out of the bed for anything. Actually, what would get me out of bed for a sponsorship? It has to be a lot, because I do not get out of bed for a lot of things. I am very lazy like that. I mean, have you seen how bad my upload schedule is? And I like making videos. For things that I don't like running, it is abysmal. Ever since I did that marathon, I've dropped down to doing it like once a week, and even then it's only like 4K. Actually, no. Props to myself. I did an 8K like 4 days ago. But like, the problem is I've just beaten running. The marathon is the max distance you go. Once you've done that, it's just, this will never be as good as the marathon I did, so why even bother? And should be training for a faster marathon, but you know, I'd have to wait for my toenails to regrow for that, and I'd have to wait for my knees to stop hurting. I don't know why, but both my knees have decided to just give up on me, and I'm surprised because I don't go running enough for them to start hurting, but they do. Whenever I start running, they start hurting, and I need to be doing the exercises every night. I don't do them. Why? Because I'm busy lying in bed, and I don't get out of bed. But on the bright side, I'm having no toenails. Was that I did get to like completely rip them off, which is a very underrated experience. But I don't think enough people have tried it because honestly, it is phenomenal. Hello, quick interlude. I will go back to talking about my toenails shortly. Well, first, I thought I'd just explain what exactly I'm doing because not everybody might have played the mod before. Essentially, I'm looking to grow hemp so I can put it into the millstone and turn it into hemp fibers, which I can use to get fabric and craft a windmill. Why I would want a windmill, I have no clue. I've never heard of an evil windmill, so I think it's a pretty safe bet to get. However, I'm having problems with getting the hemp to grow, and so I'm just going around experimenting with different ways of planting it with blocks over and whatever to try and figure out how it goes. And yes, I did die to that creeper. Yes, I did create back up to the world because it doesn't respawn you and it's very, very difficult, and I just don't want to have to deal with that. Anyway, back to toenail talk. The reason why I needed to rip them off is because I got like blood blisters or something underneath them from running the marathon, and so they were swelling up, and there was just like so much pressure, so it was painful to put any weight on them, you know. And so I got a pair of clippers, and I just like started going snip, slowly cutting it back until I got to like this blood blister, and then I got it open, I got it exposed to the air, I pressed down, and it's like a volcano, a fountain of goopy red liquid just erupted forth onto the floor of bathroom, and it felt phenomenal. It's like one of those ASMR cow videos where they're like cleaning the cow's hoof in there, find out there's been like a 10-inch nail stuck in. Honestly, I don't understand how these cows are so clumsy. They keep on walking into stuff. Honestly, I feel like you could probably be very profitable if you just like start hammering the nails into the cows leaving it, and then just make a video like 2 weeks later of taking it out. So how much is a cow worth? If you get like what, 5 million views, that's like 10 grand. And actually you get to sell the cow as well, so it's just double bonus. So that's a free business idea for you guys out there. Anyway, maybe I should do ASMR my toenail clippings. I don't know, I don't think it quite has the same relaxing nature. Did I sound soothing? Not so ever. But although it is a very renewable resource, because I did get to do it twice, because on my right foot, it's not the big toe, it's the one next to the big toe that had like the blood blisters. So I tripped about the first time, pressed down it, all the blood had squirted out, instant relief. And then as the nails growing back, it's like really weird. It's like a nail had grown underneath it, so they're like two nails stacked on top of each other, and this bottom nail was putting pressure on the top nail. And well, I didn't expect this, so I was like picking at my nails one day because it hurt, and then it was just like a beautiful tear off, and oh my god, it felt so much better. Like, it was a bit bloody at one end because I think it's like embedded to the skin, but honestly, it felt so good. I guess next time, if you see toenail clipping ASMR, just know who's behind it. I don't get why there's like such a stigma about biting nails though, because honestly, I do it all the time, and I have turned out fine. Obviously, if you do it too much, and it's like that layer under the outside layer, that soft spongy one. I'm not quite sure how to describe it, but I feel like there's layers. There's layers to it. So you have like that hard outer bit, and then you have like that slightly softer inner bit, which I think is like between. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. All my nail biters out there know what I'm talking about. I cannot believe that this is just a me experience, but where like when you rip that off, and then it's kind of like very soft and tender if you put any pressure on it. Like the skin itself is pressing up into the nail and it hurts. That's not good. But honestly, all the stages up until that point are very satisfying. It's such a good stress reliever. Like that and putting my hands on my balls are like my favorite two things to do with my hands. And actually, there's one. No. I've cut back on that third and final one. So I just rest it on the balls. I swear to God, if I had boobs, you best believe my hands would be living like in my bra. I just don't hit chest enough to get this. It's just not the same. It's just not the same, man. Only reason I go to the gym anymore is for a third place to put my hands. As we know, third spaces are dying out. Oh, it's such a long commitment though, man. been going to the gym. I've been going to the gym for too long and it's just not comforting. But you know what they say? No pain, no gain. It's like when you put a screen time on your phone, but you know the password. So when it comes up, you just put in the password and keep on scrolling. But like now you feel bad about it. And because you went to the app of like typing in your 4-digit long password, you feel, you know, you've earned it. You've given yourself, you put in the work of knowing your part. Exactly, you remembered. You know, you're training your mind, your mental fortitude has been strong enough because you remember the password. So clearly your mind's fine. You're not being detrimented by the endless scrolling and anything. And even though you scroll like as much as your friends, you can act morally superior to them because you have limits and they don't. They are hedonistic animals. They are like those little piggies that don't have any concept of ownership because they are giving away their soul to the greedy corporations behind the apps. And clearly they're just not utilizing their life to the fullest like I am and like you probably am by watching this video, because we are very cool. Like, although I must admit, when it's like 1 a.m. and I've gone through about 5 different warnings telling me to get off my phone. And that's bad. That does feel pretty rough. I don't even enjoy scrolling because it just gives me motivational content. It's like the motivation to do what? To get off my phone and go to bed? I'm literally the opposite of what there's like the motivational content is telling me to go out there and do better and be better. And it's like, I don't need to do that. I need to go to sleep. I hate the motivational content because I have no desire to be great. I just want to be content. And lying in my bed at 1 a.m. doesn't make me happy. I feel like going out there and practicing the things that I love will make me more likely to get content. But I mean, do I even know? Like, yes, I do. I feel like I enjoy writing. I want to be a writer when I grow up. But given, fuck, when I say grow up, it sounds like I'm 12. I'm not. I'm 19. God, that's the. Anyway, we're not going to linger. I have a meaningful career. You know, the tin of tomato soup would be very disappointed if I stopped now. Anyway, I was like, oh yes, I want to be a writer. And I mean, just given the generative AI is probably more difficult than ever, so you have to be a lot better. And I don't spend as much time writing as I probably should. I do, my one saving grace is the videos, and that I have a dream. My spoof of that, I think it is the best thing. Is it the best thing? No, it's not the best thing I've ever written because I wrote a murder mystery like for 70,000 pages. And did anybody want to read it? No, they did not. I got rejected from like every part, but I wrote it and I had some banger lines in that. I talked a lot about ceilings. But again, I feel like the problem is though, like once you've written a novel, you've pretty much succeeded at writing, so there's no way to go from there. Because I've tried writing poetry, and that's been bad. So do I go? I think what I need to do next is short stories, and I want to be a writer for TV. I think that's the main thing. And so technically, I've been writing skits. I feel like you could class them as dialogues, where I'm just talking to myself, playing different characters. To be fair, do I overuse that trope? Maybe. That's 2 videos back to back where I've done it. Are the conversations? Problem is, I overestimate myself, which I don't know. I just find myself funnier than anybody else does, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But you know, I would love it if people appreciated my talents more than I did, because they can give me money. And I need money because I am currently learning to drive. In part of learning to drive is spending like 2 hours with my dad every single day driving. And the problem with that is he takes this time where I quite literally have his life in the palm of my hands and uses it to lecture me about how I need a job and how I need to start saving up for money and how I need to start thinking about my future and how I'm not doing enough to become a lawyer and how I need to start doing more things now because the job market is terrible at the moment, and if I keep on the way that I'm going to end up a bum and a loser. And I must admit, I think the fact that I haven't driven ourselves off the side of the road and into a passerby is next level restraint, and I just want to end it so badly whenever I'm driving, because honestly driving is so unbelievably overrated. Because people are always like, imagine the freedom you have when you're driving. You can go wherever you want in the world. It's like, brother, I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to sit in front of my computer and go tapping away on the keyboard, coming up with the silliest jokes I can think of, then sending them off and having other people make stuff out of them. I can't do that yet because over my 6 months of making videos, I have made £140, I think, which is not very good. That's like £23 a month. People in Kazakhstani sweatshops. Actually, no. Let's not diss the Kazakhstani. The Malaysian, not Singapore. The Malaysian sweatshop workers, they probably make more than that. Actually, no, they don't. I am very grateful for what I have, and I appreciate every single person who's watched my. It makes it sound like I'm ungrateful. I'm not. £140 more is more money than I've had anyway, because I am very lazy. I mean, we've gone over this again. I have worked, but I don't like working because very few places will let you tap away on your keyboard. Anyway, I do appreciate everybody who's watched, because, I mean, do I though? Not really, because most of you are just numbers on a screen to me. And I mean, occasionally some of you comment, and that will do a lot to humanize you. And some of those comments are really lovely things, like, they thought that I was a big YouTuber, which is very cool. Because obviously that's what I want to be. Which, like I said, it's not the end goal. The end goal is I want to write for TV, but I feel like this is a good start. If I get a catalogue of work. And I mean, dubious internet footprint, but if I get work of it, I will let it slide. And somebody left a comment on my last video saying they love my voice, which made me feel incredibly bubbly inside. Because while I'm not nervous about it, when I'm not insecure about it, when I was just a wee lad of about 13, I was a late bloomer, I took part in this inter-school science competition where you get paired up with students from other schools and you get like given problems to solve. And this kid would just refuse to listen to anything I said because he claimed that he couldn't understand my accent, which is bullshit because A, I don't have an accent. In fact, I think I'm the only person in the world without one. And B, because I enunciate clearly and have good diction, there is no way that he can't understand me. Like, unlike this man who was abhorrent in the way he spoke. He treated the letter H as a mere suggestion, and the T is an unfathomable concept to him. He was ridiculous. I'm not even going to dignify it by attempting to replicate it because I fear it would scar me irreparably. But no, actually, not so bad. I went to New York recently for a wedding. Not mine. It was family's, and it was very nice. They worked as bankers, so they had a lot of money, and I got to eat a lot of food. But everybody there, they speak like they're extras in a movie. I mean, maybe it's just me coming from my privileged British mindset, but I couldn't take them seriously. Man, like, Garfy. I heard somebody say, I'm walking as a grandpa with his kids. He's like, you gotta let me keep on walking. Again, I'm sorry to all the Americans I've offended with that accent, but I love it. It's great. Never change. Although I did get mistaken for a New Yorker on several occasions because 3 different people came up to me and asked for directions. Now, I had no clue where any of the places they were asking for were, so I just made it up, which is one of my favourite things to do, actually. Whenever somebody comes up to me and asks for directions, I try and send them in just the opposite direction, because if you speak convincingly enough, people will believe you. It's the same with the spreading of disinformation. It is ridiculously easy to do, and it brings me so much joy because, with all the things that are going wrong in the world, I'm so glad that I'm responsible for part of it. I am a teeny part of a global movement. I think kind of depressing, but that gives my life the most meaning and satisfaction. And also making the videos, making all of you happy. That's another big part of my life, guys. I value it and cherish it. Anyway, I'm surprised if anyone's got this far. I just wanted to make this video because I want to be better at walls. And I want to document all of it. And I feel just cutting between things will be boring. And also because I have no video ideas at the moment. Next time, I will be braving the caves. I will be trying to get some redstone, potentially some diamonds. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a banger. And it will probably be its own dedicated video instead of me just rambling and ranting.